Dear learner, today we are going to take part in a study which is very important in the personal administration, that is the recruitment. I am Professor Muhammad Nafis Ahmad Ansari from Department Political Science of Aligarh Muslim University. Recruitment is the method by which they are brought into state service. Both the caliber and the recruitment policy affects how efficient the public service is. Historically perspective, when we try to trace about the recruitment has a lengthy and fascinating history since the earliest period of organized human society. Here is a quick summary of the some of the significant historical viewpoints of recruitment. Ancient world. In ancient societies, social network or personal relationship were the frequently the basis for the informal recruitment. For instance, guilds or apprenticeship may be used to find competent laborers, while the peasantry and the frequently the source of soldiers. Feudal system offered an organized framework for recruiting during the Middle Ages. Peasants were hired by the landowners to work on their properties, and merchants and artists established a guide to control their respective field and attract new members. Recruitment during industrial revolutions. The need for labor increased dramatically as a result of the industrial revolutions. Workers were hired by the factories and other industrial enterprises using a range of strategies such as labor brokers, word of mouths, marketing, newspapers, ads. Professional recruiting firms began to appear in the late 19th century, giving companies an easier options to locate competent employees. 20th and 21st century, the government used a range of strategies to enlist soldiers and other laborers, resulting in a major mobilization of manpower following the world wars. Many technology developments during 20th and 21st century have changed the recruiting landscape. Businesses may now contact a large pool of potential applicants more easily because to the growth of social media and the internet, and many aspects of recruitment process can now be automated thanks to new tools and technology. The most crucial component of public personal administration is recruitment. The soundness of India's recruitment system determines the government's effectiveness and service quality. If the hiring practices are sound, then the nation will have more competent and effective government servants, which will inevitably lead to a successful administration. However, if neglected recruitment can lead to the administrative failure and the backdrawn of civilized existence breakdown of the civilized existence. No amount of training will be able to improve the administration of the nation if unworthy and incompetent people are recruited into the services. The term recruitment lacks a clear definitions. Some of the authors such as L.D. White claims that the purpose of the word recruitment is to find the most qualified applicant for the positions that has to be filled. Other authors have believes that the process of filling open positions from advertising to selecting and assigning qualified candidates to those positions is known as recruitment. According to J.D. Kinsley, public recruitment may be defined as that process through which suitable candidates are induced to compete for appointments to the public services. In the words of the Glenn Stahl, recruitment is the cornerstone of the whole public personnel structure. Unless recruitment policies are soundly conceived, they can have little hope for building a first-rate staff. Recruitment is a significant component of a larger selection process, which also entails certification, interviews, and examinations. The entire procedure for filling a position in government services appears to be more extensive than hiring. Recruitment is often understood to be the procedure used to choose candidate for open position. Importance of recruitment. The administrative system's most crucial procedure is recruitment. The hiring procedure determines the characteristics and the standards of the civil prisoners. The government's administration's values and significance to society depends on a reliable hiring process. The civil services will be perpetually weak and ineffective if the recruitment policy is flawed and incorrect, allowing dull, incompetent, and inefficient people to join. Now, not even the greatest training and promotion programs can turn poorly hired individuals into intelligent, effective members of the society. Therefore, it is essential that the hiring policy be sound and that it be applied consistently and effectively. Modern administration is getting more and more difficult as a result of advancements in technology. The most skilled, capable, and productive individuals are needed in the administrations. Furthermore, civil services has emerged as the most significant job field in the modern era. The recruitment policy is the most crucial component of the career services. Theories related to recruitment. According to O.B. Behling, recruitment requires both recruiters and recruitee. The prospective employee must decide whether to apply for jobs, and the recruiters must decide who to hire and who not to. The decision making process often involves three distinct factors: the objective components, critical context, and the subjective factors. Objective factors theory. The objective factor theory views the process of organizational choice as a being of one of the weighing and evaluating a set of measurable characteristics of employment offers, such as pay, benefits, locations, an opportunity for advancement, the nature of work to be performed, and the educational opportunities. Critical contact theory. According to the critical contact hypothesis, a candidate's limited or brief interactions with an organization prevents him from differentiating the firm's offer meaningfully based on objective or subjective characteristics. A decision can be made only when the candidate can easily understand the elements like the recruiter's behavior, the physical facilities, and the speed at which the application's paperwork is processed. Subject factor. The subjective factor theory emphasizes the congruence between the personality patterns and the image of the organization. That is, choices are made on a highly personal and emotional basis. Merit system of recruitment. Today, every democratic nation in the world uses the merit system of hiring. In order to fill unfilled positions in government services, the most competent candidates are chosen based on merit test concept and open competitions. An open competition aims to assess the consistent merits, credentials, and competency. Written examination, oral examination, interviews, performance test, confirmation of the prior performance and experiences, etc., are the main methods to use to do this. Although the merit system was thought to be used to choose officials in ancient China and India, the modern merit system is relatively new. It was made available in Britain in 1855 and in India in 1854. After this granted job applicant killed President Garfield in 1881, the Pendleton Act of 1883 established the merit system in the United States of America for the first time. The three primary systems listed below wherein the in place was very nations worldwide prior to adopting the merit system, office of sales, patronage system, and system of spoils. Prior to French revolutions, the highest bidder would win a public auctions to fill open positions. This increased the state money made impossible for wealthy people to hold public offices and freed the administrations from political meddling and favoritism. Many nations, including Britain, had a patronage system in place. Under it, the appointing authority choose or select the individuals it wished to favor based on personal or political criteria in order to assign them to the position in the government. The patronage system of recruiting involved relatively and family relationship, personal loyalty, political connections, and various forms of favoritism and nepotism. Almost all the 19th century, including the second half, saw the continuance of this system throughout Europe and India. The spoil system was in place in the United States, with government appointments being viewed as the party's share of the spoil after an election. Every time a new party took office, it used to fire every government employees that the previous party has nominated authority. Then it replaced every vacant position with its own adherent, from a postman to the secretary. Thus, there was no such thing a permanent civil servant in America. Appointing as a government employees were political sympathizers who personally exhibited affections and allegiance to the ruling party or the recent elected president. This system persisted for more than a century before the USA merit system was implemented with the passage of Pendleton Act in 1883. The mentioned method of recruitment became absolute due to the rise of democratic attitude and the growing complexity of administration. Instead, the system of recruitment based on ability and merit is currently acknowledged by nearly every democratic nations in the planet. Nowadays, the patronage or the spoil system is not existent. Conversely, in the modern era, the merit system have emerged as a well-recognized approach to hiring. Process of recruitment. The process of recruitment normally consists of a number of steps, which may be briefly stated as requisitioning the job post, inquiring about the staffing needs of the various government departments and agencies. In the first step is the recruitment process. How many people are needed? How many positions need to be filled directly by appointment? How many positions are promotions supposed to fill? The recruitment authority gathers all these data before starting the recruitment procedure. The many open positions are characterized and overall requirements are estimated. In addition, the various open positions requirements are considered while evaluating the necessary education, experience, and other factors for the positions. Determining qualifications, conditions, and requirements. Following the job demands, the next stage is to ascertain the prerequisites and additional requirement for publishing newspaper, bulletins, and other channels. The choice of the minimal level of the education required. At this point, considerations such as prior expression, age restrictions, place of residency, nationality, physical fitness, etc. are made. Before deciding on these issues, the government recruitment policies and the laws of the constitution are considered. Designing the application form. An appropriate application form must be created and distributed to the candidate for the various positions or openings. The applications form must be columns that includes pertinent details like the applicant's age, qualification for examining educations, place of residence, nationality, experiences, family history, religion, caste, and so on. It is necessary to use several application forms for the various services, exams, or employment. Advertisement. After setting criteria, circumstances, and requirements, postal examinations are announced. by the newspaper, bulletins, radios, and televisions. The advertisement provides all the required informations to encourage qualified people to apply for the competitive test. All interested applicants receive application form within a set deadline. In some cases, the application form's pro forma is printed in a newspaper, prompting candidates to apply independently. Advertisements are often printed, published, or telecasted multiple times to attract more appropriate individuals. Recruiting agencies may create their own publications to benefit prospective recruits. For example, the Government of India publishes employment news weekly. Government bodies such as UPSC may reserve a specific day of week for job advertisements. Advertisement appears in all the newspapers are published every Saturday of the week. Advertisements play a crucial role in the recruitment process. Scrutiny of the applications. Application must follow the prescribed pro forma and submitted by the specified day and time. Applicants who do not meet the minimum requirement, qualification, or application conditions are denied and notified as soon as feasible. Candidates who meet the minimum qualification for the competitions are informed about the selection process, including interview and exams. If necessary, call letters or hall tickets for interviews. Eligible candidate receives examination details, including date, time, locations, and interview invitations. Many competent and unqualified applicants are removed from the recruitment. Many incompetent and unqualified applicants are removed from the recruitment process at this stage. It is important for relevant authorities to thoroughly scrutinize applications forms to ensure that the qualified candidates are not unfairly treated. Holding of examination, interview, test, etc. Their ability to or merit must be tested to choose the best individuals. This can be done through exam, interviews, or other examination process. Examination is a formal process of determining the person's merit. Examinations can be assess a candidate's qualification, rank, and order of merit and establishes a list of eligible candidates. Examination scheme is based on the employment requirement and government policies. The examination pattern varies depending on the types of examination, such as qualifying examinations. Examination types include main, general, technical, objective, essay-based examination, etc. Following the examination, list of successful candidates is prepared. A similar method is followed for the interview and other types of tests. Finally, list of qualified individuals are prepared. Certifications. After examination, interviews and other testing, successfully applicants are announced in the newspaper, on notice boards, or on the official website of the organization. A list of successful and hence eligible candidates is prepared and it is certified by the personal agencies such as the Public Service Commission. The government receives a list of certified candidates and recommends that only those on this list be picked for appointments. This is the ultimate job of the personal agencies such as Public Service Commission. The government often selects and appoints qualified applicants based only on the certified list. Selection. Selection involves selecting suitable people based on their eligibility, qualifications, and availability. Candidates are examined for eligibility through examination interview and accredited by the personal agency such as Public Service Commission. However, responsibility of the government. The government has the last say in the selecting or rejecting candidates, even if a list of qualified individuals is provided by a personal agency. The standard practice is to pick applicants solely from this list. If the government identifies a candidate with a questionable background or involvement in the violent, anti-national and illegal actions, they can refuse their appointment. For these reasons, many countries conduct secret investigations into the candidate's character and police records. If the government is satisfied, only qualified candidates are appointed. Appointments are often made by the government from the certified list of the candidates that the Public Service Commission recommends in the democracies like India. But for a variety of reasons, in the event that an applicant is turned down, the government must provide a convincing justification in front of the parliament, since the people are the government's ultimate source of accountability and responsiveness in a democracy. Appointment. A government appoints the formal candidate after choosing most competent and appropriate ones. Note that no matter which country appointment are made by a competent executive authority rather than a personal agency such as Public Service Commission for the services. Nations legally and constitutionally framework determines who should be able to make appointments. The legally recognized appointing authority alone issues the official appointment letter either in their own names or on their behalfs. For instance, in India, the governors of the state are ones who makes all appointments in the state's government services, whereas the president in India is the one who makes all appointment in the central services. Appointment letters issued by the government are different types: permanent appointment, temporary appointment, provisional appointment, appointments on probations, appointment for indefinite terms. No candidate receives a permanent appointment letter at first. A chosen applicant is typically appointed a position on probations. There is 6 month or 1 year or 2 year probation terms. Persons regarded as being a temporary service during the probationary period. A probationary candidate is assigned to the various roles during the time and their performance is assessed by their immediate superiors. The appointing authority receives the pertinent report. Once the candidate successfully completes their probationary period, they are granted conformance in the services, at which point their employee is deemed to be permanent. He then receives a permanent government job posting. Placement. Following the successful conclusion of probationary period, a candidate's service is confirmed and he is assigned to the appropriate position. This is referred to as posting or placement. His task is overseeing a particular type of work related to his position, so he can get experience. He is allowed to work in that position for a few years. In certain instances, an individual receives pre-entry orientation training specific to the work they have been performing before they are posted. However, he is positioned in numerous other instances where he is permitted to learn while working. Essentials of recruitment. It is common knowledge that recruitment is the most crucial phase in a people's administration. Incompetent and unqualified individuals will join the civil services and ruin the nation's administration if recruitment policies are poor. Therefore, it is imperative that the recruitment policy be soundly thought out and well planned. It's all important to comprehend the fundamental components of an effective hiring procedure, which constitutes a sound and effective recruitment system. Let's discuss the essentials of the recruitment. Recruitment policy ought to be a constructive. It must be designed to draw the most capable, skilled and qualified individuals to work for the government. A democratic recruitment policy is required. It must be designed to give as many qualified and capable individuals as possible opportunities. The government should notify all the potential suppliers of the position that are open. The recruitment policy ought to be appealing. It must be consistently establish a strong job market for government employees. The most talented individual must be recruited for the team through the use of appealing literature and publicity strategies in public sector employment. This should be keep going on. A policy recruitment must be neutral and political free. The first hiring must be carried out by the neutral, independent and political neutral recruiting organization such as the Public Service Commission. Politicians and the government should not have any influence over hiring civil servants. Generally speaking, Public Service Commission should select and suggest the applicants before hiring them. Effective direct and indirect system integrations is essential for recruitment policies. Promoting and hiring competent individuals to higher positions who are currently in the service is necessary. Meanwhile, direct recruitment of young and gifted individual is necessary. Both systems must be used together to create an effective recruitment policy and get the greatest outcome. The recruitment process is an important aspects of organization success. It involves identifying and attracting best candidates for a particular job role, evaluating their skills and qualification, ultimately hiring the most suitable candidate. The recruitment process begins with the understanding the organization need and creating a detailed job descriptions that outlines the required skills, experience and qualification. This is followed by sourcing candidates through various channels such as job posting, employees referrals, and recruitment agencies. Furthermore, it is essential to continuously evaluate and improve the recruitment process to attract top talent and maintain a strong workforce. Overall, the recruitment process is multifaceted and ongoing process that plays a crucial role in the success of any organization. Thank you.